and welcome to your next instalment of Feel Great in 8. So in this 8 minutes we're going to be using the healing powers of cold water therapy. So before you panic, don't worry, you're not going to have to do anything weird, no clothes are going to be removed, no cold showers, although I am a big fan of those. Today all we're going to be doing is doing some cold therapy on your face and on your hands too. So wherever you are in the house, walk yourself to the nearest sink. Maybe it's the kitchen, maybe it's the bathroom, whatever it is. I've actually also grabbed a bowl from my kitchen just to demonstrate this a little bit easier for the purposes of this. So whenever you get to your sink, or if you're going to use a bowl, as long as you can put your face in it, it's all good. Just start to fill it up with just the cold tap. So why cold? Okay, let me try and tell you then on this, because there's extensive research now that shows that cold therapy, exposure to the cold, really stimulates something called your vagus nerve. And your vagus nerve really is the power cable to your rest and digest, that relaxation, that healing response that we need to be in more and more often. Most of us, my water's done, most of us live in a fight or flight mode. We want to be more in the rest and digest, feed and breathe, and that's controlled pretty much by the vagus nerve. So if we can stimulate the vagus nerve, we're winning, we're feeling more energized, we're feeling more replenished. It also helps sort of rewire that mechanism a little bit. You might find when we do this, and I used to experience this too, when you put yourself in cold water, it can make you panic, right? It can sort of tense you up and stop you breathing properly. That's stimulating that fight or flight response. What we want to do, if we're particularly stressed a lot of the time, that just happens really quickly. This happened to me a lot, particularly when I first started with cold water therapy. But all you need to do is just a little bit of exposure each and every day, ideally, just a little bit of cold, and just recalibrate you a little bit, and just stops you being in that fight or flight mode so often, and it stops it being triggered so easily. So it's not even cold, but other situations which can trigger it very easily. So just by recalibrating, just by a little bit of exposure each and every day, can really benefit. It's also a very powerful anti-inflammatory, so it just reduces inflammation, it'll help tighten your skin a little bit, and I'll talk about the benefits of the hands in a second too. So let's just start off with a face bath. We're just going to do this for a few seconds. Remember, this is just an intro, so I'm just going to turn this camera down so you can actually see what I'm doing. We are doing this together, I promise. We are a team. So, and please do this along with me, otherwise I just feel like a weirdo. So, fill up your bowl or your sink with some water, and if you get that panic response when you put your head under the water, obviously just come out, you know, just do it slowly a bit more each and every time. What I tend to do is just breathe out slowly through my nose, and then when I'm done I come up, have a breath, breathe out slowly through my nose, and do that. So let's get cracking. Come on, let's do this together. Okay. Okay, feeling good? This is also quite good for regulating the breathing, so it's a bit of a 2-in-1 in that sense. Okay, let's just do one more. Should be feeling a bit more by now. Okay, there we go. Good stuff. Let's grab a towel and bring this up. Right, okay, so how are you feeling? Good. You should be feeling a little bit more awake now. You can see my face is a little bit red already, which is good. It's drawing blood to the skin. It's waking up and oxygenating all those cells. It's a really good thing to do. It's a really good thing to do actually first thing in the morning, or if you're about to go out of an evening, you're feeling a bit sort of a slump. Just to put your head in some cold water. The colder the better, but just do a little bit more cold over time. Some people put ice in it too over time, but just start lower and then increase the coldness as you go. So that's the first bit done. The second bit is putting your hands in the water. So I'll just bend this down for the last time. So there is a reason to this, okay? So just pop your hands in the water. And again, please do this with me because I feel like I'm a bit of a weirdo doing this on my own. So the reason there's benefits for this, because particularly if you suffer with cold hands, cold peripheries, which I used to do a lot too, this is actually really beneficial to do. So you just start with fairly cold water, then you can get colder and colder in time. And the benefit to this really is because we have muscles in the very small vessels in our hands and feet, and they help regulate how much blood flow is going to our hands and our feet. And often when our hands are cold, it's because there's not great blood flow into them. What can happen just in modern society, we just get a bit lazy. We live in comfort because we can, and we wear gloves and we wear socks all the time, and our body never kind of gets exposed to any really extreme temperatures or gets tested. And it kind of, those muscles in the arteries or the capillaries, they can get quite weak. So it means that your fingers can get really cold quite easily. So this is basically like doing a bit of muscle training for the vessels in your hands and feet, if you want to do your feet too. It's just a way of recalibrating so that when you do go out into the cold, that your body can adjust much more easily. It's just a good way to recalibrate that system. So I would encourage you to do that just little and often, and just increase the length that you do it for as you go. So hopefully they're feeling a little bit more stimulated. If you're not getting much stimulation from this, your water isn't cold enough, okay? So just be sensible with it, make sure that it's nice and cool. And you should be able to feel, your hands and face should feel more awake, more alive, more tingly by now. There we go, that's it, pretty much done. So all I want you to do over the next minute is just take a few seconds for yourself. So sit down on the floor or on the loo, whatever, and just close your eyes, and I'll do the same, and just enjoy that stimulation, that tingling that you're getting in your face, and just imagine that energy, that revitalized cells, imagine that energy just being able to last throughout the rest of your day now, and just picture that in your mind, that feeling that you're now enjoying in your hands and in your face. Imagine that being able to last for the rest of the day. And if you can, just imagine that energy just soaking through the rest of your body, from the top of your head, your scalp, your face, down your back and shoulders, down your torso, up your hands, up your forearms, down your legs, all the way to your toes. Okay, so just try and carry that energy through the rest of your day, and I shall see you next time. Take care.